Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tierfin Gaming and I'm your host for this evening. In today's video, we're going to be going over my personal customs loot run. It is designed for PMCs because it comes a little bit close to a couple of the high PvP zones in the customs map. However, it's not a requirement to be running a PMC. Just if you are running a scav, remember, you're not going to be as effective in combat against full geared PMCs. Remember guys, I do stream live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday on Twitch as well. The time has changed to start at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so we get even more time to game every night. Please go ahead, find my links in the description down below. Without further ado though guys, let's get right into it. Okay guys, so we're deploying in here. We're going into customs on a offline mode, standard AI, standard amounts and everything, and we're going to go ahead and show you my path that I take for looting. So I've spawned here on the big red side, so normally there's going to be some guys here you know, fighting for this. I typically don't go immediately into big red unless I have a real need to, quests or something. Usually if I spawn big red side, I usually hope that I spawn down this way, but you know, it is raining, so I have the game volume down a little bit, but I'm going to adjust it up a little higher so I can hear. So I usually like to spawn and I'll check there, or I'll check there depending on which side I spawn to make sure that no one's gonna friggin' gank me. And then what I'll do is I'll come up here. This is in the trailer park. There are 3 jackets in here. Jackets and caches are kind of my hit point on this. So we'll come in here and we'll loot these. I am on, you know, a thing right now, an offline mode. So it's loot chances, I believe, are reduced in the offline mode, but I could be wrong. But then I'll come back out and I'll check again to make sure, and then usually what I'll do is I'll come up here into storage. And there's a couple of reasons why. There's some really good stuff that can spawn in storage. Once again, check to make sure no one's gonna get me in here. Storage is a little bit dangerous too if you spawn on this side, but it's not as dangerous as going big red. Hit this car up and there's a med kit in there and usually a food item or something. Not usually. Come here, there is a bag, and we come back around this way. I typically will avoid going that way and I'll just come up this way. And we're just gonna kind of run up. Make sure you check this corner. I've died to a scav here a couple of times because that was bad, not because, you know, this guy's particularly dangerous. You have another jacket and a weapon crate in here. These are usually pretty easy to get to, so no one typically loots those a whole lot. I'm gonna have to turn that up a little bit more. I'm trying to keep it, yeah, boom. So, I mean, if you get something like that, you can of course kill him. That's why we checked it. You come in here and you have another weapon crate and another jacket. The weapon crates, you know, are kind of your decision on if you want to get them or not. I like hitting them, but they're not really necessary. So then what I'll do is I'll come in here to big red. I'll keep the customs key. I don't actually have the customs key on me for some reason right now because I'm a dumbass. But I don't have my customs keys on me because I've been running interchange a lot right now. But you'll go in there and you can actually see it. This first door, it just opens. This second door that you can kind of see at the bottom there is a breach door, but inside the breach door there's a safe and a jacket, and there's a couple of keys inside the normal door that you want to hit, or a couple of computers, sorry, that can spawn, you know, primarily I look for the USBs. I don't usually loot them unless I have another reason to. Like, graphics cards apparently can spawn inside computers, but it's a pretty low chance apparently, so I don't usually bother. Then I'll come over this way. I usually do a full clear of the big red area just to be on the safe side. So then we'll come in here where you have a bat, you know, another bag, filing cabinet, another weapons crate, and 2 jackets. Let's see. Let's just see. I usually squat aim this way. I just want to see, because it kind of give you guys an example of what can spawn in here. Screw nuts is terrible. I mean, not terrible. Early game screw nuts are pretty big, and then a tool set. Tool sets are also pretty big early. So, I mean, you really want to hit these because, like, early game, these sorts of things, these hideout things are really important. So after we looked at, I was checking to see if a scav spawned, and then we come back across here. Be careful coming through here. Players, especially early in the wipe, players are going to probably be here. I'll be honest, this is my first wipe, so I can't say that for certain, but there's a shit ton of quests here, so I'm like 99% certain that there's going to be a lot of players, and then scav spawn in this area a lot too. Check this corner. That's where we came in. Then we can come in here. This one's a little less necessary to check in my experience. There's a filing cabinet, which is nice, a med kit, and then a key can spawn here. I don't remember which key it is though. And then I typically come this way, and I come out this door and I'll scout it. Now, mind you, this is just my personal preference on how to do this, like a money run here on customs. It's a little bit of a longer map, so you know, do it at your own risk. I do not cross here. What I'll do is I'll come over this way. And I'll come up this way because it kind of just gives you a little bit more of a peeker's advantage, especially because like early, like if you do that quick enough, no one's going to be coming junk bridge because junk bridge is really, you know, everyone says junk bridge is dangerous, but I have literally never gotten camped on junk bridge. I've died more times in there than I have on junk bridge. But so anyways, then we cross here. I typically will either cross junk bridge or here. Very rarely will I spawn south bridge. Like south bridge I'll take like on the opposite direction, but that's just kind of, you know, me. Be careful because you can have more scavs spawning along this way. Like right there, boom. Okay, you can hit there, ice cream, this little building right here, because that building has some cash registers. That is nice. Help if I didn't do that. And then I'll come this way. Once again, watch for scavs because scavs like to spawn here. You can hit this right here. It's another, you know, another jacket. Not as necessary in my opinion. But definitely worth it. I usually like going down that direction instead of pushing up through here, but like, I mean, your mileage may vary. Either one's fine. It really just kind of depends on how you want to do it. All right, so we killed all these scavs. You can loot these scavs as you get to them. You know, occasionally you might like get something good like that. Like that's actually a pretty good spawn. Like I don't think I've ever actually seen that spawn in here. But then this is kind of where the run gets good. So we come over this way and we hit, I actually missed it, but whatever. So you have a cache right here. And it's in here. You have a wood cache right there. Those two I've probably gotten the best out of anything. You know, I mean, those are probably my two favorite caches to hit in this entire map. So then we're going to run this way. I am hesitant to recommend going through here. Like, honestly, going through this is a pretty bad time any way you look at it. So we're going to take the path that I usually prefer. And you can actually save yourself a little bit of time if you come up South Bridge too, which I mean, you can. You just got to be a little more careful crossing South Bridge early because people are over in this area and can want to do something. Okay. Okay. Once again, kind of being careful because there's a lot of scavs that spawn in this general region. And then what I do is I come over this way and we kind of take it north. I just kind of sit in these woods. I'm running right now. In an actual game, I would be taking this slower, of course, you know, especially because up here on the left is going to be dorms. And making sure you're clearing all these openings because people can come out of there. But then what I do is I kind of just quickly do this. Like, I don't typically look because usually at this point in a raid, someone's going to be fighting over there. Run down here. Okay, sniper scav. Yep, just getting here. There's another one here. What the fuck? There's a scav in there? Okay. I don't see sniper up though. Maybe I'm just dumb. Anyways, so then we come along here, and I usually come along the back of this and just kind of like hug this wall, keeping my cursor there, occasionally checking that way, but like this area is usually pretty clear. So there's, on the road there's another cache. I usually skip that. It's just kind of in a bad spot unless you're real late in the raid and you know most of the players are gone. This is another potential hotspot, so kind of be careful coming through this area. And then usually what I do from here is I start swinging up north. You can come around the back of the gas station and hug this wall. I don't tend to do that. It's just asking for trouble. So what we'll do is we'll just come up this way. And I'll basically follow this train track.
All the way up north. Usually I'll sit in one of the gullies on either side so that I'm not quite as visible. But like I said, right now we're just kind of giving you guys the general shape. Up there's another cache that I'll usually hit. Actually, I'll show that to you guys as well.
So we're kind of, like, if you can make it to here, you're kind of at the easy point of the run. Usually by this point, your odds of seeing another PMC are slim. I wouldn't say zero. I've run into them, but I would say I definitely run into them more going, like, getting to this part. Like, usually after getting around the back of bus station, I'm usually pretty good. And so then I just kind of follow this wall. I don't usually take the road. Watch out behind this rock. I've seen people camping this rock. This is actually the only extract that I've ever gotten camped at, and I wasn't even a scav. He was sitting right there as I came through here. It was kind of shitty, you know, but I mean, it is what it is. You just kind of have to accept it. And then we kind of get into the last little loot portion here. We're just gonna walk here for a little bit. It's a little bit of a stretch of looting stuff. Like I said, normally I'd take this a lot slower, but you have this cache here. Check down this pathway because you can, a lot of the time there's a sniper scav that like to spawn up there and other scavs that like to spawn down there. One of the maps that I use is up here as well, like says there's a sniper scav, but I've never actually seen him spawn. So I don't know if that's still inaccurate and like the map just like, if I've just gotten lucky and never run into him, or if the map has just not been updated to spawn that, or to update. Yeah, sniper. Okay. So then we come down this way. This is another kind of area you want to watch out for scavs in. Not so much down in this road. I don't think I've ever actually run into them there, but this table, that I usually skip looting that just because it's in a kind of an exposed area. You have up here that can spawn a couple of things. This toolbox, you know, is definitely a decent spawn point as well. And then we have another 3 caches this way. Okay. And we push this way. I took that fight bad, but you know. Okay, so right back here, there's a wood cache here. Checking this way. You gotta be careful in this area too, because a lot of scavs can spawn in this area if you're not careful, like if no one's been in it for a while. Right under this, like right on the other side of there, like right about where that laser is pointing, is another cache that I'll hit. And then there's one back here that I always have a little bit of problems finding. Usually you can just kind of walk and you'll find it eventually. I think it's farther up. Yeah, right there. There's another cache right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. And this really kind of then determines what I do, because you're right here at the ZB111 exit, which is a really, you know, which is the main exit when you're coming this way. Or you can go and loot a couple of other places. This building here, through that door, there's a couple of weapons crates up on stairs. There's a factory key spawn, and I think there's a no jacket, but there's a factory key spawn, a toolbox, and a couple of weapons crates. In the back of that blue van, there's a couple of computers that you can check for USBs, but then you can come this way too. Hobo train is decent. You can get a couple of things in Hobo Train. I usually don't bother with Hobo Train. Oh, there's a quest or two that needs you in there, but so if you come this way, just kind of be careful. Sniper scav can spawn on the top of this roof. He doesn't appear to be there now, but I don't know if he'll show up or not. There's also right on the other side of this, there's like a little pit that has another cache in it. I usually skip that because, again, that's kind of in one of those real easy to kind of get ganked areas that I don't want to mess with. And then here it is, old gas. I suck. Definitely hear one, but I don't see him. There. There we go. So old gas is real hit or miss. Mainly because a lot of scavs can spawn here. You know, but if the green smoke's going, you can extract from here as well. But this table can loot, you know, get a lot of good loot. So can this one. I've heard rumors that an M4 can spawn on here, but I've never actually seen it. And in this particular case, because it's open, we can come down here and extract. That's pretty much my loot run. You can do that in reverse as well. And it, you know, it hits caches, it hits jackets, a couple of other areas that are good for loot too, but I don't typically hit them. You know, just not really my place to do it. But I hope this helps you guys, and we will see you all in our next video.